So I have read the first 8 issues of Legacy of Vader. Those are the ones that have been released so far. I think issue 9 releases in a couple days. So when the next few issues get released, maybe I'll cover those as well. But so far, I'm not really impressed. No surprise there. Though this comic, the writing, is probably better than the majority of Disney Star Wars. Definitely better than the sequel trilogy. Not exactly a high bar. And there's some stuff that we don't really get to see in the films, like Kylo Ren showing the First Order, Snoke's body, and then pushing the body out into space. And we also get some information about the state of the First Order, which I honestly don't think is ever explained in the films at all. Like the fact that apparently the First Order is the largest military in the galaxy. From what it sounds like, from the way Hux is speaking, they actually control a lot of star systems, but you never get that feeling. You never get the feeling of a galactic empire, anything close to that from the First Order in the films. Like there's a line here that says they have garrisons at strategic locations across the galaxy, so they are a galaxy-spanning military. To the point where they are similar to the Empire, but that is never really shown in the films. The state of the galaxy, it's so focused on the Resistance and the First Order specifically on their starships, on these Star Destroyers. You never get to see like a whole planet under the rule of the First Order in those films. And I guess their only shipyard was Starkiller Base. And since it was destroyed, they don't have one. And they eventually take over Corellia so they can build more ships. I don't know if it's established that Starkiller Base was their only base, but that's how it makes it sound. Like, was that really the only planet, or the Ilum star system was the only one they actually controlled before they destroyed the New Republic? And we have Hux saying after they destroyed the New Republic, only local forces would be the ones to resist them. But I thought the New Republic in Disney Star Wars demilitarized. But the way this is written makes it sound like, oh, they actually did have a military? Or something like that? Unless they were just fearing that the New Republic would put together a military force eventually to come and stop them. So they destroyed them? None of this is presented in the films in any way, and trying to make sense of the state of the galaxy through Disney Star Wars expanded universe material, it doesn't help because the films don't do anything to support what's being written in these comics. And instead of going forward with Hux's plan to take Corellia immediately so they can have a shipyard, Kylo Ren forces him to build him a throne, or whatever. And then he goes on his little journey to learn about Vader's history. So Kylo goes to Mustafar, this is before the Rise of Skywalker, and he meets this guy, Varney, who's just this head attached to this robot body now, but I'm pretty sure he's the guy in Rogue One who tells Vader that Krennic was there to see him. I'm pretty sure that's him, and if it's not, I actually don't care at all. But after Vader's death, this guy used his clearance codes or whatever and got into the Emperor's files. And that's how he learnt about Anakin's history, and he's basically telling all of this stuff to Kylo Ren. He goes to Tatooine with him, and he learns that Anakin was a slave, and that he was owned by Hutts before being sold to Watto. Kylo does think that maybe Vader came back to kill Watto, but apparently Vader had other things going on, and I don't even think Vader would give a shit enough to come back and murder that guy anyway. And this is all about killing the past, letting it die for him. So he wants to kill the Hutts because they know of Anakin Skywalker, they owned him, but they're connected to the past, and he doesn't like that, I guess. And he's captured and tortured, he breaks free, he summons the First Order, Hux tries to bombard the whole place, but Kylo still lives. Then they go to Naboo. And it's a complete shithole. After the Empire fell, apparently it just all went to shit. Everything is fucking horrible there. The people suck. The elite families who rule the planet become a bunch of shitty people. So Kylo does this thing where he orders the First Order to take the planet. They're going to take Naboo. But then he goes down to the planet and disguises himself so he can lead a resistance force against the First Order. Because I guess the people of Naboo are holding on to the memories of people like Queen Amidala and Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. And he doesn't like that, so he's leading them against the First Order to liberate them, I guess. So they can evolve, so they can go beyond that past. But then he ends up killing them all anyway, at least the people who were helping him. So that's pretty fucking evil. And it's so evil that I think it kind of makes his redemption in The Rise of Skywalker even more of a joke. This guy is so evil, but for the third act of The Rise of Skywalker, he's treated as one of the protagonists, as one of the heroes. No fucking way. He also murders 2 random people just because they remember Queen Amidala. And I think he's taking inspiration from Vader because apparently Vader did the same thing on Naboo. He came there and just killed anyone who knew of Queen Amidala or ever spoke her name. Just very weird stuff going on in these comics. And then Kylo goes off to hunt a Jedi who survived Order 66. And this Jedi is proficient in mind tricks. That's what she used to survive for so long. Fair enough. She got so good with these mind tricks that she was able to use it on these two Inquisitors that came after her to convince them that she was dead, that they killed her. And I guess Kylo wanted to face a Jedi in preparation for Luke Skywalker, but he's informed here that Luke is dead, and she felt it through the Force, and I guess Kylo didn't. Whatever. And finally, we get some info on the Knights of Ren, and they are completely different to what I thought they were. How they act in the films, they don't really say anything at all. They stand around looking cool or whatever, and that's it. But these guys have like full conversations with each other, and they also talk about being robbers and thieves. That's kind of their main thing that they do, is steal things, rob people. I think even with the original Ren before Kylo, that's what they did. They did that with Kylo as well until the Supreme Leader Snoke came and said, it's time to send these rats away, have them killed, we've got more important things to do. And then they went off and met this other chick, Tava, who is also a Force user, Tava Ren. And at the end of issue 8, she goes to Kylo Ren, I assume to eventually duel him and try and beat him to be the official leader of the Knights of Ren. That obviously doesn't happen. And since the Knights of Ren are on Kylo's side in the film, in Rise of Skywalker, I'm assuming he kills her and then takes them back into his service, but then they're loyal to Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker, so I think there must be more information on why they're actually loyal to him specifically and not Kylo, and how they're connected to Exegol and all of this stuff. If that's not covered in these comics, then did anyone think of that? I don't know. And that's it really. I didn't want to make this video like my Legacy videos because I don't care enough about these Disney Star Wars comics to actually take notes and put together something that resembles a script. And there are other Disney comics like the Vader comic. There's 2 Vader comics, I'm pretty sure, and there's also the Rise of Kylo Ren. It wouldn't surprise me if those comics aren't any better than this. Even though we get a good look at what Kylo Ren is doing, why he's doing the things he's doing, it all makes sense, I guess, but it doesn't make him any less of a lame character. And people still really think he's the best thing about the sequels. He sucks in those films just like every other character. It's a cope. You're delusional if you think that's a good character that's well written. You're a fool. And that's all I have to say about this. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. I'll see you later.